Let's move now to Washington, D.C., something Melania Trump will never do. You know, since Trump's inauguration, here at The Daily Show, we've been playing this game. It's called Who's the Real President? We sit around in the office and we try and figure out who's really running the country. Because you know it's not Trump, right? We know it's not Trump. And like, I figured, I was like, let me show you the current standings of what we have here, right? So as you can see, for week 3, we have a whole bunch of people. Donald Trump's still stuck in number 5 spots. But there's been a lot of movements in the top 3, and that's what we're going to share with you today. At number 3, we have Javanka, which is basically our celebrity couple name for Jared Kushner and Ivanka, right? It's also the name of an IKEA chair. A lot of people don't know that. In the number 2 spot, we have, Fox News. Yes, or as Trump calls it, his daily briefings. But the number 1 spot in this week's edition of Who's the Real President goes to... Steve Bannon! Yay! Steve Bannon! Yay! Yes. Donald Trump's chief strategist, who is also the radical former editor of Breitbart, and the subject of the best-selling autobiography, If Eczema Were Human, the Steve Bannon story. And guys, can I be honest with you? This tally wasn't even close, because in the past week, we've learned so much about the power and influence that Bannon has in the White House.
Where is he getting his ideas? Where did the term Muslim ban come from?
How did the president decide the 7 countries?
Bannon played a key role in crafting President Trump's extreme vetting order, that temporary ban on immigrants from 7 predominantly Muslim countries.
Wow. Oh, can we just take a second? What's going on in this photo? It looks like Trump is a little girl learning to dance by standing on her father's feet. Like, what is... I bet Melania looks at that picture and goes, I remember when you used to look at me like that, Donald. But yes, even though the Muslim ban has Trump's name on it, once again, it turns out he didn't really build it himself. It was Bannon's baby, which shouldn't surprise anyone. It's in his name, people. Bannon. Ban on Muslims. Open your eyes, people! The clues are everywhere! The whole name is a clue! Ban on Muslims! What about his name, Steve? You can't spell Steve without Eve. Adam and Eve, the Garden of Eden. Eat in. Steve Bannon is gonna order takeout tonight. We have to stop him. Maybe I got carried away, but still, Bannon. Anyway, not only was Bannon behind the Muslim ban, he's reportedly the person who told immigration to ban visa and green card holders as well, which, aside from being legally dubious, is just a huge dick move. You realize some of these people have lived in America for decades. This is their home. Imagine leaving your home to visit your family, and then when you get back, Steve Bannon won't let you in. And you're there like, but I live here. And Bannon's like, well, I say you don't. Also, I clogged your toilets. But you see, making immigration policy wasn't enough power for Steve Bannon. So he went ahead and gave himself more power on the DL.
White House chief strategist Steve Bannon has been given a security clearance usually held by generals as the result of an executive order signed by President Trump.
According to the Times, President Trump did not know the contents of one of the executive orders he was signing. He didn't know that he was putting Steve Bannon, giving him a permanent seat on the National Security Council.
How is this real life? This is insane. The president didn't know what was an executive order. And also, this is crazy. Bannon slipped himself onto the National Security Council. He basically did it like a kid sneaks a candy bar into his mom's shopping cart. Just like, you know? That's why everyone recognizes that Steve Bannon is the real power behind the throne here. Everyone realizes it, even the dishonest media.
President Trump's chief strategist appears on the cover of this week's Time magazine, accompanied by the title, The Great Manipulator.
Oh, that's a sort of a bittersweet milestone for Steve Bannon. I mean, on the one hand, he's on the cover of Time magazine. On the other hand, he's on the cover with this photo. I mean, like, the face, what's going on with the, I mean, that's like a professional, No, I'm not. It's just like the man looks like a satellite image of a storm on Jupiter. Like, it just... Yeah. Anyway. By the way, what kind of shadowy manipulator goes on the cover of a magazine to announce that he's a shadowy manipulator? Kind of blowing up your spot, isn't it? Yeah? It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz posing on a cover with the headline, "It's just some dude." Why would you do that? Ego. Seriously, everyone is trying to figure out whether Bannon or Trump is in charge.
Look at this Time magazine cover. Again, it's astounding that this soon into a new administration. I don't know. I mean, maybe Bannon's calling all the shots.
Now, if that wasn't true, then a certain cable news fan wouldn't have felt the need, less than an hour later, to tweet, "I called my own shots, largely based on an accumulation of data, and everyone knows it." Largely based on an accumulation of data? Come on, man. Trump and data have less of a relationship than Trump and Tiffany. Come on. What do you like? Come on. Come on. But Trump's defensiveness is telling. It shows that even he realizes he needs to prove he's in control. And maybe someday he will be. But for now, let's congratulate Steve Bannon. As of this moment, you are the real president. The American people didn't elect you, but then again, they kind of didn't elect Trump either. Hey there, thanks for subscribing to our new YouTube channel. You're probably thinking, but I didn't. I know, which is fine, but now you're thinking about subscribing. You should really just subscribe. Just do it. Subscribe. Who said that? Subscribe. Who's saying these things? Subscribe now. What?